I definitely think we all have a lot of unique challenges to our sport, but one of the things that is probably not unique to, it's probably more common is we hear the word innovation a lot, and we hear how much does it cost a lot, and trying to keep an understanding of the return on investment, right? So especially from a league standpoint, one of the things we've been really dealing with or working through is, again, it's how to set up for innovation, how to prepare. We have these large buildings, and now that's not just domestically that we play in each week. We have stadiums are playing in around the world, so we're a traveling circus in that regard. So how do we stand up all this technology that's growing and growing every year, and it's a big investment. So one of the things we've been really working on the last year or so is obviously putting our own camera system, obviously that kind of serves multiple use cases, and also crosses that line between fan experience and a product for football operations and for the game, something to aid replay, something to aid, I guess, again, the viewer experience. So you're really getting a more return on investment, right? So it's not really so separate. So one of the things we've been doing the last year or so with Hawkeye is really growing what we were doing with them with just a smart replay system. And now in this last year, we put 18 camera system in every stadium. Some of that is boundary line cameras, something a lot of broadcast networks traditionally do, but for us, it was looking at doing a consistent approach. Sometimes the broadcast partner would have that at a game, and sometimes they wouldn't, so it would be inconsistent from a replay standpoint of what games had and what games didn't, and those are shooting down the line, shooting down the goal line. So now we have a sort of a standard approach across all venues, wherever we play in the world, that has those set of cameras. And we've been working on, this year has been, again, a sort of elevated POC with ball tracking, having cameras up there that are tracking the ball. Hopefully we'll replace the chains from coming out and that down and distance, and hopefully also an element that speeds up the game a little bit, and hopefully we could sort of be really accurate with a measurement for a first down. And then, of course, then is optical tracking, right? We already have sensors on the players. We're getting all that data with our partner Zebra, and we're also now going to have optical tracking, right? Where there's so many different benefits that we are going to keep exploring and uncovering, and what we could do there, right? So there's the Simpson Allcast is a experience you get from a fan perspective or a rights holder perspective. And then obviously there's all these health and safety benefits, right? Injury detection. Where are all those data points, what are beneficial from a coaching perspective? So there's all these different elements, but now that we have spent investing the money to put all these cameras and do all this in there, it allows a roadmap for innovation, right? These are parts of the stadium that traditionally we don't operate in. So you need power, you need cabling, you need infrastructure, and it needs to exist, and it needs love and care all the time. So one of the things, as we keep stacking all this technology in stadiums, it's the other aspect of it. It's where does this technology live in each building? Not every building was built, recently, so it's where all these servers go. Currently, we're very on-premise centric, so we need to heat them, you need to cool them, and we do not own and operate majority of our stadiums, so it's having that partnership with our venues and with our clubs, and just having that sort of common goal to kind of make sure that all this important technology operates on a game day error-free, right? And then, and a lot of that's from the video replay, obviously, but then also, we're working with Verizon as well as a partner, and just sort of in the private LTE space. So one of the things in my group we handle is all frequency coordination for every NFL game, right? It's becoming a more and more crowded place. So one of the things we've been working with Verizon over the last couple of years is covering our field of play with a private LTE solution, right? Something that we obviously could hopefully have a free space where our coaches, their bell packs are operating, and with other technology. This year we took kind of a step forward and adding something to that space where our back judges have been wearing smartwatches. So we're kind of sort of like now inching forward to what else can we use this for and how to make sure, obviously, we got to safeguard game operations. But what other benefits can the game, for the game, can we get from these technologies? So, so there's a lot of things that we're working on, obviously, from a big picture that, are very, like all our sports, when sometimes now the technology is so ingrained in our game, it's mentioned in the post-game press conference. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of emails go around when the coach says something in the post-game press conference that something didn't work. There's a lot of people who want answers. And there's a lot of, it gets a little trickier now to kind of make sure that, one, the technology is doing what it's supposed to do, and we're safeguarding it, and we're making sure it's operated in a transient environment like an NFL stadium. Some are outdoors, some are indoors, so some are in far off countries.